Is the tweet that broke the news this morning. UofL's football coach Scott Satterfield is leaving the Cards for the University of Cincinnati. Satterfield led the Cards to a 7-5 record this season and a 25-24 record since first stepping into that position in 2019. You know, our sports director Ken Spencer is in with us. Did we see this coming?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I think it caught everybody off guard. But then all of a sudden, I think when you start breaking it down, you know, after the fact, you're like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see this. I can see this. You know, Scott Satterfield was a guy who was getting ready to go into his last season, into his contract at the University of Louisville. And one thing that coaches like more than anything else is they like job security. And let's be honest, after his first season, which was, you know, they may have did a little better than what people expected. You know, it's kind of been middle of the road to low end of the spectrum here a little bit, and there has been some unrest with the fan base moving forward with Scott Satterfield. So just like a lot of other coaches, Scott Satterfield went out and found himself another gig that can get him probably 3 or 4 years. So when you look back at it, you're like, I can see it. But essentially, how do the fans look at this? I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are looking at. And this is how I equate it, Brooke. All right, I need you to follow me for a second.
Okay.
It's like a relationship. And one side of the relationship, they probably haven't been happy for a while, and they like to see like to see this thing end, but they stick it out. And the next thing you know, they wake up and the other person breaks up with them. They're not mad that it's over. They're mad that they are not the ones that initiated the breakup. 100%.
Those high school or college feelings coming out of there.
Yeah.
Some experience. We had a statement from U of L, who we're going to be hearing from in the next couple of hours here. If you want to talk about this, from Athletic Director Josh Hurd.
Yeah, he says, quote, "We're grateful to Scott for his dedication to our program and wish him well. We are always prepared to conduct head coaching searches, and we'll be beginning a national search immediately to identify our next head coach. Stay with us as we plan to break programming today at 1 p.m. That's when Scott Satterfield gets introduced at the University of Cincinnati. And 2 p.m., Josh Hurd is going to hold a news conference on the University of Louisville. That's where we're expected to find who is going to be Louisville's interim head coach in the bowl game, which, by the way, is December 17th. In Boston, the Fenway Bowl against, drumroll please, the University of Cincinnati.
I mean,
so that's
couldn't have planned that better.
That's going to be interesting. We're going to hear who the interim coach for the Cards is going to be in that bowl game, and then also, you know, Jeff Brom. He's the elephant in the room. Is he next on deck for the University of Louisville? I would imagine if you ask fans, they would say if they're able to secure Jeff Brom, who, by the way, just coached Purdue in the Big Ten championship game, they would say that's a win-win for Louisville.
Now, talking about that bowl game, a lot of people might think he's actually going to be coaching competition. And a week and a half out from now, that's not the case.
No, when Luke Fickell left for Wisconsin, Cincinnati left for Wisconsin, they named Kerry Coombs the interim head coach at Cincinnati. He's the person that's going to be coaching the bowl game against the Cards in Fenway, in the Fenway Bowl. Coaches like that, coaches who make that move, they really do not take, I mean, they're already in place to put their staff together, get recruiting, and then next thing you know, after the bowl game is when they take the reins.
Okay, so 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, those are the times we'll be breaking in.
But it's still going to be an interesting bowl game.
No, it's for sure, and that is on the 17th.
December 17th, yep.
All right, well, we will be watching that, and again, at 1 and 2 o'clock today, we will be taking you to those live news conferences with U of L and Cincinnati, both talking about this new and abrupt change.
It's just a day that ends in Y around here, Brooke.
It's a big day for you.